So I was backstage talking to David and his lovely wife. Her name is Diane. She says that he's been described as a classy man, an exceptional storyteller with expert print and broadcast digital skills, so we all know that. But Diane says what makes him so good at his job, he listens, really good qualities to have in a journalist. Listening, his persistence for getting information. They have 2 boys, a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old. I said, what's he like as a husband? She says, he's a sweetheart. It's a nice thing for a wife to say. And when it comes to being a dad, he's fun. Come on up here, David Aldridge, our Legacy Award honoree.
All right, so if you were at the Sam Lacey Awards yesterday, you saw me weeping like I was Niagara Falls. They told me I only have a minute, so I'm not going to do that today or tonight. I'm going to try very hard not to do that tonight. But I am so grateful to NABJ and to Sarah Glover, who's a friend of mine from our days together in Philly. And I thank you all for this incredible award. As you know, I am from Washington, D.C. A lot of people say they're from D.C., and they're really from Maryland. Or they're from Virginia. I'm from D.C. Where? Fairfax. No, that's not D.C. I grew up in Northeast Washington, D.C. Very quickly, because I know I don't have much time, but everything that's happened to me in my life, everything that is important, and everything that I have become is due to 2 people, James and Muriel Aldridge. My dad and my mom worked. I didn't see my father very much when I was a child because he was working. He was a mailman, and when he was done being a mailman, he would come home, he'd get something to eat, he'd take a half-hour nap, and then he'd go to his second job at a grocery store. And my mom was a registered nurse, which meant when any kid was sick, she had to go take care of him. And they did that for 30 years. And they showed me what it meant to work and to not make excuses, and to do what you had to do to provide for your family. And I grew up in a neighborhood full of families like that. And so that's why working is important to me. Very briefly, I'd like to thank a few people. I went to American University. It changed my life. Frank Jordan was a professor there. He was the first person to believe in me, to say that I was capable of doing more than even I believed I could do. When I was 22, I graduated, and George Solomon hired me at the Washington Post when I had nothing to offer him, but he did it anyway. And those of you who know George Solomon, there are many of you who have been hired by George Solomon over the years, know that George didn't need a poll. He didn't need a focus group. There was nobody protesting outside of his office. He just knew that it was right to have an integrated newsroom, to have an integrated sports staff. And so it was not just me, but it was Tony Cotton covering the Bullets, and it was Mike Wilbon writing columns, and it was Christine Brennan covering the football team, and it was Sally Jenkins covering college football, and it was Mike Freeman and Jay Adonde and Mike Terry and so many other people that George hired over the years that have gone on to do special things in this business because he saw something in us, and he gave us an opportunity when so few people gave us opportunities to show what we could do. I went to ESPN after 9 years at the Post, and I had a wonderful time there, and I thank all the people at ESPN. I learned an awful lot about television there, and it was a wonderful experience, and I made some really, really wonderful friends there. But I must tell you that, with all due respect, and it was a great place to work, and it still is, and it does wonderful work. I am so blessed to work at Turner Sports. I am beyond blessed to work at Turner Sports. Because Turner Sports doesn't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. I see people who look like me when I go to Turner Sports. When I'm on assignment and I'm in the truck, on a remote at a game, I see people who look like me as producers and directors and ADs and research people. When I talk to the executives like Eric Jackson, who's here, and Tara August, I see people who look like me making decisions that have weight and are important. And I get to work with Charles Barkley. It's not all bad. It's pretty cool. So I thank you all very much, but I must thank one more person. I don't know exactly the minute and hour that we met, but to paraphrase Bill Clinton a few weeks ago, in 1986, I met a girl. And my life does not work without her. It just does not work. She's my best friend. She is an amazing partner. She's an amazing mother to her children. She is an amazing wife, and I love her to pieces. So I thank my wife again for being here. It doesn't seem like it's been 30 years, but it has. It's been almost 30 years. So thank you all for this award. It means an awful lot. In fact, it means more, much more, coming from my peers and people that know what it's like to be the first, the only, in a newsroom, in a press box, talking to the president or talking to the mayor. You know what it's like. And for you to recognize me for the body of work over the years means so much to me. Thank you so much.